Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. If you are new around here, I'm your host, Robert, aka The Tall Man. This is my lovely wife, Lisa, aka Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. We are coming to you live from the still under construction Tall Man Studios. We appreciate each and every one of you being here with us tonight. In fact, we should probably turn on all the lights.
Why don't we do that?
One of these days, it's all still new to me too, right? So we're trying to figure this all out. So we're going to have a very festive time tonight. I hope you're ready for a fun evening. We got a lot of things to talk about in the news. All right, without further ado, let's get to the news first. The news. All right, so in the news first, guys, Virgin has announced that they're going to compete with this whole loyalty program thing. They're going to be status matching, but to a different degree. As you see on the screen, these are the levels that they're going to status match instantly. So there's a lot of uproar right now about loyalty programs with different cruise lines. And so Virgin is stepping their game up, and they're going to be status matching even further than they already have been doing. There's a full list on their website. Not only is it cruise lines, but it's also airlines and hotels. So they want your business, right? In fact, the press release, if I can read this, it says loyalty programs have gotten it backwards, says the CEO of Virgin Voyages. They ask for more, give less, and call it a reward. We're flipping that. From the moment sailors step aboard, we want them to feel recognized, relaxed, and reminded of why they fell in love with travel in the first place, which I think is absolutely amazing. Now, speaking of holiday spirit, hopefully you guys saw the beginning of the show with the front of our set piece here. I got a nice fireplace going. Carnival has released their Christmas menu, and it, of course, has all the traditional things on there. Appetizers, baked brie, wild mushroom soup, entree course turkey, maybe glazed pork tenderloin, and that's sort of their recommended. But there's other starters: beer braised short rib, crab cakes with a lobster Creole sauce. Of course, all this information is available as well. Your entrees, you can see there. There's also filet, salmon Wellington, lamb duo. And they also have a Christmas lunch menu as well, as you can see there on the screen. So fantastic that they have released this menu for those who are sailing on a Carnival ship during Christmas. Moving forward, Royal Caribbean in the news. In fact, we've got a lot of Royal Caribbean news tonight. They have made some changes to a couple of their itineraries, and they're actually upsetting a few guests. This is going to be affecting the freedom of the seas and the independence of the seas. And this is in, oh my gosh, what was the dates? Oh my gosh, I forgot the dates, everybody. I'm so sorry. It's like February and March next year, if I remember correctly. I'm so sorry. I'm scrolling real fast to see if I can catch the dates. I believe it is February and March of next year. Anyway, they have decided to cancel their trip to the Bahamas, and instead, they're going to take you to the Bahamas instead of going to Cozumel. So instead of Cozumel, they're going to the Bahamas, and it's really pissed a lot of people off because they're launching their brand new destination there in the Bahamas, and so a lot of people find that as just a money grab because they're bringing you to a place where they have the ability to make more money, as opposed to Cozumel, where if you get off the ship and do anything off the ship outside of excursions booked through them, they don't make anything additional. But with their new private beach destination in the Bahamas, in Nassau, so there's a lot of people pissed off about that. So we'll get to the rest of the Royal Caribbean news in just a second. But first, the World America MSC has released the bookings finally for the World Asia for next year. And so if you're into MSC like we are, we love MSC. The World Asia is now available for booking. So you can go to them directly, go to your favorite cruise line, whatever you want to do, your favorite cruise line, your favorite travel agent, excuse me, and book your cruises with them for the brand new World Asia coming out late next year. Back to Royal Caribbean for the last two stories of the day. So there's another fight on Royal Caribbean. This happened poolside. You can see from the picture there, it was at night. This particular guest, the one without the shirt, up and punched somebody. It looked like it could be a pool attendant. It was not reported of who it was, but based upon the clothes that he's wearing, I believe it is a pool attendant. Anyway, this guy went off and hit him, knocked him right to the ground. Now, Royal Caribbean hasn't made any comments on it yet, so we don't know what the outcome was for this passenger. Has he been arrested? Has he been thrown off the ship? Has he been banned for life? None of that information has been provided at this time, but yet another fight on a cruise ship, in this case, Royal Caribbean. And last but not least, for the news of the day, Royal Caribbean is now about to fight a lawsuit. If you guys remember, this time last year, there was a gentleman, his name's Michael Virgil. He was on, good Lord, I think it was the Navigator of the Seas. Literally, it was December of 2024. And unfortunately, he passed away. And there wasn't a lot to the story at the time outside of he had to be subdued and they injected him with a sedative to calm him down, and that he had had a couple of cocktails. And ultimately, he went into cardiac arrest and he passed away. Anyway, a lawsuit has been filed. And the lawsuit is on homicide. They're blaming Royal Caribbean. And that they served him. It alleges overservice of alcohol and other factors related to the quote-unquote homicide, as the lawsuit states. Now, within the lawsuit, there's further information about the story. So Michael boarded with his fiance and their 7-year-old, and their cabin was not ready. So they went to the bar and had some cocktails. Now, according to the lawsuit, over the course of a few hours, again, few hours, he was served 33 cocktails. That is correct. 33 cocktails. Ultimately, they go to see if the room is available. It's not. He gets belligerent, starts kicking doors, and then, of course, you know the rest of the story. So I can't, that doesn't compute. First of all, they do have the drink package. Whether you have the drink package or not, when you scan your card, well, it registers a cocktail. You're only allowed to have 15 a day. Now, unless he was drinking 15 on his card and 15 on his fiance's card, I'm assuming she had a couple herself. But the bartenders, they monitor these things. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. Either way, Royal Caribbean has a lawsuit on their hands for wrongful death. And that is your news for this day, Wednesday, December 10th, the day after my birthday. Danny is getting around to commenting on the story. I call BS. Yeah, I think they're going to have a rude awakening. I don't know why they don't know that their card is registering the drinks, right? So Bev says, how can anyone drink 33 drinks in the span of a few hours? Yeah.
I say that about 15 drinks. I couldn't drink 15 drinks.
In a few hours, never mind 33. He was a big man. He was a big man.
He was.
But 33 drinks in a few hours, that would have been a drink every 5 minutes.
That's crazy.
Now, a lot of you have been on a cruise before. And again, it's a tragic story. I mean, it's just a completely tragic story. And so our thoughts and prayers, of course, are to his fiance and their child. But I'm not sure this is the way to go, because I just 33 drinks. And it was mentioned in the lawsuit. And so I just think the Royal Caribbean attorneys and the computer records that they pull up are going to have something else to say about that. Ashley also says, I call BS too. Come on. There we go. I call BS too. They just want someone else to blame other than him. Yeah, he probably was drunk already when he boarded. You know what? I'm not going to go that far, right? I'm not going to say that. Who knows? But in the end, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. There was an incident. They had to subdue him because he was just not cooperating, period. Antonio wants to know, are you going to go bid for the yacht club on the Grandiosa? If so, what did you bid? High or low? I put a bid in for my cruise. Well, we're actually booked into the yacht club. So we weren't going to do the bid thing. We just went up and did that. But we got an inside cabin.
We did. We found an interior cabin for a great price,
Yep.
and we decided to go ahead and do it.
Yep. So we're in an inside cabin. There is the potential that I could bid for a balcony. It's sitting on my computer. Haven't pulled the trigger because things are very, very tight. We're hopefully maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But the when you move the tick, the thing, just one little spot, it's like $1,400. That's like another cruise.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Antonio, but I don't go past whatever the first tick is. I don't care what cabin it is I'm bidding on for what ship. I literally go up one tick. When we book the cabin, typically the one that we want. Okay. I don't always want an inside cabin. I prefer balcony cabins, but I also prefer to go on more ships. And I'm happy enough in an inside cabin. Right. So, but if the one tick up is like $100, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that. But in this case, like I said, for the Grandiosa, for the yacht club, one tick up is like 1,400 something bucks. Again, that's for the cabin. It's not per person. So,
Gotcha.
but still, 1,400 bucks. Beller is like, yacht club is awesome. I am not so lucky. We will be in an Aurora cabin on our cruise on the Grandiosa, but yacht club was it was super expensive for our sailing because we're on it for New Year's.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The yacht club is not always price amicable. I'm looking for a good word. I don't want to say expensive because for what you get, it's an amazing price. And they won uh, best. I forget what it was called. Cruise Critic Awards this past year.
Nice.
In fact, I'm not prepared to do that. Maybe we'll try to do that not tomorrow, Friday. We talked about doing this every day. I'm not sure if we're going to come on Friday because we're going to be leaving early Saturday morning to get on the ship. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see how we do tomorrow. But Cruise Critic has put out their 2025 best of.
Oh.
Yep. Margaritaville won best family cruise again.
Nice.
2 years in a row.
Nice.
But for best like ship in a ship type concept, the Yacht Club won MSC.
Nice.
And so, but yeah, you just got to search for that right cruise.
Yeah, you do. I mean, like anything, there's going to be busier seasons and, supply and demand. If the demand is high, then the prices are going to be higher. So, yeah, you just got to look for those slower times.
Right? Yeah, we feel like 5,000 for a balcony and about 3,000 for an inside seems to be what I would call in the reasonable category for the
That's our target price.
So you just have to keep on looking. Recruiter's like, yeah, 1,400. That's another cruise. I vote for another cruise. I know. He's like, yeah, Christmas birthdays suck. Yeah, I know. Just
He's
even
close enough.
Even me on the 9th, it's close enough. So yeah. If you don't win the yacht club, do you lose your bid amount? No. And it's not that way for any bid. I'm sure you're just being funny, but for those who don't know, anytime you book a cruise, if you get one of those emails that say, "Hey, would you like to bid for this upgraded cabin?" You can do so. You can bid whatever you want. The little bid meter looks like a speedometer, and when you go up one ticket, it typically says, your chances of winning suck. It'll say poor is what it says, and then fair, and then good, then and then great. Anyway, and you choose what you want to bid. Now, it does ask for your credit card, but your credit card will not be charged unless you happen to win the bid. And so, no, it won't charge. I didn't do it, but if I do, the last time I did it, it was like $100. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a glitch in the system or whatever. And we got it.
We won.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And now we're ruined for life.
Yes.
Karina says, can't wait to see Yacht Club service with pizza and drinks and these fancy snacks and chocolates.
Oh, yes, all the fancy stuff.
The chocolate.
Chocolates, yeah. We were talking about that the other day. We're like, oh, that chocolate is so good.
Antonio's like, no, Danny, you just stay in the cabin you booked. I can only cruise when my daughter is out of school, and my sailings are usually more expensive. Yacht Club was $15,000 for 3 people for New Year's sailing. Yeah, that's a little pricey.
It is, yeah.
That's enough for us. That $15,000 that we could go diamond.
Right?
on
We could
Carnival.
Carnival. That would definitely get us there.
60 days of cruising, that 15K would get us. We've done the math. Oh, good Lord. All right, y'all. We are going to get out of here. We hope everybody has had a fantastic day and enjoyed the show. Again, if you're new around here, I am your host, Robert, aka the Tall Man. This is my lovely wife, Lisa, aka Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. Please consider hitting the subscribe button. Thumbs up for sure. Becoming part of the Tall Man Clan is free to you, costs you absolutely nothing. We do come to you live all the time, whether we're on ships, whether we're off ships. We do all things cruising. If you're into ship tours and different things, you should check out some of our playlists because we do some amazing deck tours, one deck at a time. Just read some of the comments before you even watch the video. It'll tell you we just do things different. And we'd love to have you here because we're just crazy, crazy people. All right? So, you know the drill, right? We don't have to go home, but we do have to get the up out of here. Peace.